Because it is my name. Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie and sign myself to lies. Because I'm not worth the dust on the feet of them who hang.
My Betty be hardy soon.
Out of here!
My Betty's not
Out of
gonna
my
die.
sight! Out of my... Oh, God. God, help me. Betty, little one, will you wake? Will you wake, child? Betty, please. Betty, please, little one. Oh, Betty, please.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott is here from Dr. Griggs.
Oh, let her come, let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
Now, what does the doctor say, child?
He bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir, he's been searching his books since he left you, sir. But he bid me to tell you to look to unnatural things for the cause.
No, there be no unnatural causes here. Tell him I've sent for Reverend Hell of Beverly. Mr. Hell will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine and put out all thoughts of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir, he bid me to tell you. Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir, I pray for her. Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you best go down and deny it yourself, sir. The parlor's packed with people. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? My niece and my daughter discovered dancing like heathen in the forest.
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confess it and I'll be whipped if I must be. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
Uncle, we did dance. And when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened and she fainted, and that's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, child, your punishment will come in its time, but if you traffic with spirits in the forest, I must know it now, for my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why could she not move herself since midnight? This child is desperate, Abigail. It must come out, or my enemies will bring it out. Don't you understand that I have many enemies?
I have heard of it, Uncle.
There is a faction that has sworn to drive me from my pulpit. You understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very symptoms of obscene practice.
It were sport, Uncle!
You call this sport? Abigail, if you know something that will help the doctor, for God's sakes, tell it to me. I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on to you. I heard a screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth. She was swaying like a dumb beast over that fire.
She always sings her Barbados songs, and we dance.
Abigail, I cannot blink for what I saw, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress laying on the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now, Abigail, tell me true, and I hope you feel the weight of truth upon you. For my ministry is at stake, my ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abominations you have done, give it to me now, for I dare not be taken unaware when I go down there before them.
There is nothing more, I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I've sought 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people. And just now, when some good respect is rising from me in the parish, you come and compromise my very character. I've given you home, child. I put clothes upon your back. Now give me a bright answer. Your name in the village, it is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I am sure it is. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, be there any other reason for your being discharged of Goody Proctor's service? I've heard it said, and I will tell you as I've heard it, that she so rarely comes to church, for she will not sit next to something so soiled. What signified that remark?
She hates me, Uncle. She must, for I would not be her slave. She is a bitter woman, a lying, cold, sniveling woman, and I will not work for such a woman.
She may be, and yet it disturbs me that you're 7 months out of their house, and no other family has called you for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them. Do you begrudge my bed, Uncle?
No, I
My name is Good in the village. I will not have it said that it is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar.
No, I will not have anyone. Oh, Goody Proctor, please come in.
Oh, it is a marvel. There is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody, and it is not. It's.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew. She simply.
I'm sure she did. Dr. Collins saw her going over Inglesow's barn and come down light as a bird, he says.
Now look, you Goody, and she never. Oh, Mr. Putnam, please come in. Providence. The thing is out now. It is Providence. What's out, sir? What's... Well, look, her eyes are closed. Look, you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your Ruth is sick.
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, driving into them forks and hoofs.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. She sleeps, and yet she walks. She hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly. A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts.
And found a witch in Beverly last year. Let you remember that.
Now, goody Anne, there only thought there were, which I'm sure he'll find no element of witchcraft here. No element of witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris. Thomas, we cannot leap to witchcraft. I know you. You least of all would wish so a disastrous charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will topple me after Salem for such corruption in my house. Now look you, sir, I've taken all part in contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back on this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands upon these children. Thomas, you cannot, and tell them what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in this earth, sir. And believe me, sir, you never seen more hearty babies born. But on the very nights of their births, they would all wither in my arms. I have spoke nothing of it, but my heart is clamored in temptations. And now my Ruth, my only, is acting strange. A secretive child she's become and acts as if a large mouth be sucking in on her life. So I thought to go to your Tituba.
Tituba? What made Tituba?
Tituba knows how to conjure up the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Anne, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul, but how else are we to know who is murdering my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, and you mark this proof, mark it. My Ruth were ever so close to their little vengeful spirits last night. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now except some power of darkness beyond her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies think of it what they will. You cannot blink it more. See you conjuring spirits in the forest last night.
Not I, sir. Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail, what proper payment for my charity. Now I am undone. You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft. In my house, Thomas. In my house. They'll make of it...
Your pardon, sir. I only thought to come and see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who is with Ruth?
Her grandma come. I think she's improved a little. She gave a grand sneeze before. Ah, there's a sign of life. I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will surely shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Thomas, if you would please leave us alone, I'd wish to pray alone for a while.
Uncle, you have prayed since midnight. Why don't you go down
I have nothing to say to that crowd. I will wait till Mr. Hale arrives. Now, if you will, Goody Anne. Now, look, sir. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will praise you for it. Come and speak with them. They're surely thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you will pray with them. I'll lead them in a psalm, but let you say nothing of witchcraft. I will not discuss it. The cause is still yet unknown. I've had enough contention since I come here.
Mercy, you head on home to Ruthie here. Aye, Mum.
If she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
I will, Uncle.
There's a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick? It's weirdish, I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night. Betty? Betty. Now, Betty, dear. Betty! Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a gram one last night and it woke up for a minute. Here, let me have at her. No. Now listen. If they start questioning us, tell them that we've danced. I've told them as much already. Aye, and what more? He knows the Tituba conjured Ruth's dead sisters out of the grave. Aye, and what more? He saw you naked. Oh, Jesus. What do we do? The village is out. I was just down at the farm and the whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell. I know it. We must tell Abby. Witchery is a hanging era. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. You'll only be whipped for the dancing and the other things. Oh, will be whipped. I never done none of it, Abby. I only watched. Oh, what a great one you are for watching. Aren't you, Mary Warren? What a great peeping courage you have. Betty? Betty? Now, Betty, dear, wake up now. It's Abigail. Betty? I'll beat you, Betty! My, you seem to be improving. Well, I've talked to your papa, so there's nothing more to... I want my mama! What ails you, Betty? Your mother's dead and buried. I'll fly to Mama. I'll fly! I've told your papa everything, so there's nothing more. You drank blood, Abby. You didn't tell him that. Now you never say that again. You drink and trying to kill Gunny Proctor. You drink and trying to kill John Proctor. Now shut it, Betty. Now look you. All of you. We danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth's dead sisters out of the grave, and that is it. Now mark this. If either of you breathe a word, or the edge of a word, I will come to you in the dark of some terrible night, and I will bring a sharp reckoning that will surely shudder you. And you know I can do it. I watched this Indian smash my dear parents' head on the bedside right next to mine, and I have seen some reddish works done at night. And I can make you wish you never saw the light of day go down. Now you, sit up and stop this. Abby, what's wrong with her? It's a sin to conjure, and I said, shut it, Mary Warren. Oh, Mr. Proctor, I was just headed home.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren, be you deaf? Have I bid you leave my house tonight? Not I look for you more than my cows.
I only thought to see the great doings in the world, Mr. Proctor.
I'll show you a great doing on your ass one of these days. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be headed home. I've got my roof to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor. Gah, I'd almost forgot how strong you are, John Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
Oh, she's only gone silly somehow.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped down on us. She took fright is all.
Oh, you're wicked yet, aren't you? You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby, that's done with.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle is brewing. Now put it out of mine, Abby.
I'm waiting for you every night, John.
I give you no hope to wait for me.
I have something better than hope, I think.
Abby, I'll not be coming for you no more. Put it out of mind.
You're surely sporting with me.
Yeah, you know me.
I know how you clutched my back behind your barn and sweated like a stallion whenever I'd come near. Or did I dream that? It is she who puts me out, John. You cannot pretend it were you. You loved me then and you love me now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things, John, but not so wild, I think. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 month.
I have a sense for heat, John. And yours has drawn me to my window, and I see you standing there burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me that you've never looked to my window?
I may have looked up.
I and you must. You are no wintry man, John. I know you. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot sleep, but I walk about the house waiting for you to come through some open door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I cut off my own hand before I ever reached for you again. Now put it out of mind. We never touched.
Aye, but we did.
Aye, but we did not.
Oh, how I wonder how such a strong man would let such a sickly
You
wife
speak
be.
nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is spreading lies about me. She is a bitter, cold woman, and yet you bend to her.
I'll do you look for whipping!
I looked for John Proctor, who took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I'd been taught by all these Christian women and their coveted men. And now you bid me to tear the light out of my eyes? I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it may be, you love me yet. Pity me, John. Pity me. Betty! Betty!
What is it, child? What ails you?
What's wrong with her? was trying to...
Put her in the chair. Put her in the chair.
What's wrong with her? Get her in the
Grab
chair.
her
Hold her
ankles,
down.
grab her
Don't let her go. What's wrong with her?
What are you doing? What ails you, child? Stop. What are you doing to her? Betty! Betty!
The psalm. She cannot bear the Lord's name.
Oh, pray not. Mercy, run to the doctor and tell him what's happened here.
Mark it as a sign. Mark it.
This is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot, goody nurse, a prodigious sign.
My mother told me that when they cannot bear the name of the...
Rebecca, go to her. Surely we are lost. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
There is a serious sickness here, Gauss Corey, so please to keep the quiet.
I've not said a word. None of you can testify that I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies. Men, be quiet.
What have you done?
What do you make of it, Rebecca? Goody nurse, will you go to our home and see if our Ruth wakes?
She'll wake in time. Pray calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times a grandma, and I have seen them all through their little silly seasons. And trust me, they'll drive the devil bow-legged trying to keep up with their mischief. She'll wake when she tires of it, for a child's soul is like a child. You cannot chase after it, but you just must stand there, and for love, it will come right back to you.
Aye, that's the truth of it, Rebecca.
But Rebecca, my Ruth hasn't gone silly. She's sick. She cannot eat. Perhaps she is not hungered yet. Mr. Paris, I have heard mention of it outside that you are going to go search for spirits.
A wide opinion is running through the parish that the devil may be among us, and I wish to satisfy them that they are wrong. They'll let you come out and say they are wrong. Did you consult the warnings before you called this minister to look for devils? He does not come to look for devils. Then what's he coming for? There'll be children dying in the village, mister. I see none dying. This society will not be a bag to swing around your head, Mr. Putnam. Did you consult a meeting before? I am sick of meetings. Can a man not turn his head without he have a meeting? He may turn his head, but not to hell.
Pray, John, be calm. Reverend Paris, I think you best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. It'll only get us all to arguing, and we thought to have peace in the society this year. Let us rather rely on the doctor and good prayer. But Rebecca, the doctor's baffled. Then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is a prodigious danger in the seeking of spirits. I fear it, I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons, the Putnam seed of people this province. And yet I am left one of 8, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that. But I must. You think it's God's will that I lose all my children and you lose neither grandchild nor grandchild? There are wheels within wheels in this village and fires within fires.
When Reverend Hale arrives, you will continue to look for signs of witchcraft. You cannot command Mr. Paris. We vote by name in the society, not by acreage. I never heard you worry so in society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you have Sabbath meetings and snow flew. I have trouble enough with that. I come 5 miles to hear him preach nothing but hellfire and bloody damnation. Take it to heart, Mr. Paris, that there are many others that stay away from church these days because you hardly mention God anymore. But that's a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for the children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations toward this ministry.
Are there really those unmindful?
I should say that the better half of Salem village, and more than that. Where is my wood? My contract supplies that I be provided with all my firewood, and I wait since November for a stick. And even in November, I'm forced to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar. You're allowed £6 a year to buy a wood, Mr. Paris. I regard that £6 as part of my salary. I pay little enough with that. I spend £6 on firewood. 60 plus 6 for firewood. The salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I'm not a preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I'm a graduate of Harvard College. I am well instructed in arithmetic, too. Mr. Corey, you look far for a man of my kind at £60 a year. I'm not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in Barbados to serve the Lord's work. I cannot fathom it. Why am I prosecuted here? I cannot offer one proposition, but there be a howling riot of argument against me. I often wonder if the devil be in it somewhere. Otherwise, I do not understand you people. Mr. Paris, you're the first minister ever did the man the deed to this house. Man, don't a minister deserve a house to live in? To live in, yes, but to ask ownership of it like you shall own the meeting house itself. The last meeting I were at, you spoke so long in deeds and mortgages, I thought it were an auction. I want to mock a confidence is all. I am your 3rd preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be thrown out like the cats whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that the minister is the Lord's man in the parish. The minister is not be so lightly crossed and contradicted. Aye! There was either obedience in the church or it will burn like hell is burning. Could you speak 1 minute without we land in hell? I'm sick of hell. It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear, Mr. Proctor. I may speak my heart, I think. What are we, Quakers? We're not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell your followers that. My followers? There is a party. I'm not blind. There is a faction and a party. Against you, against him in all authority. Well, I must go find it and join it.
He does not mean that.
He's confessed it now. I made it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of his authority.
John, be calm. You cannot break charity with your minister. You are another kind, John. Clasp your hands, make your peace.
I have cropped a sow and lumber to drag home. Will you come help me, Giles? No, John. I've changed my opinion about this man. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never knew you had so much iron in you. Why, thank you, Giles. It suggests to the mind what the trouble will be among us all these years. Think on it now. Or is everyone suing everybody else? Think on it now. It's a deep thing and dark as a pit. I've been called 3 times this year, and is it the devil's fault a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and not hearing as well as you used to. John Proctor, I've only last month collected 4-pound damages for you publicly saying that I burned the roof of your house down. I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Now come along, Giles, help me drag my lumber home. A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask? Why, my lumber out by the forest by my riverside. Why, we have surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds, Mr. Proctor, in my bounds, in your pounds. I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago. He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that all the land between the river and your grandfather had a habit of willing away land that didn't belong to him, if I may say it plain. That's God's honest truth. He once nearly willed away my northern pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he set his name on it. Now come on, John, I have a sunny will to work coming on. You load one oak of mine, and you'll fight to drag it home. Aye, and we'll win too, Putnam, this fool and I. Come on, John. I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a writ on you. Pray you, someone take these. Mr. Hale, it is good to see you. These are heavy. They must be. They are weighted with authority. Well, you do come prepared. We shall need hard study when it comes down to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse, can you?
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It's strange how I knew you, but you look as such a good soul should. We've all heard of your great charities in Beverly. Have you met this man? Mr. Thomas Putnam and his wife, Goody Ann. Putnam, I not expect such distinguished company. It does not seem to help us today, sir. We come to you to help our child to see if she wakes. Your child ails too.
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps, but yet she walks.
She cannot eat. Cannot eat. Do you men have afflicted children too? No, these are farmers. John Proctor, he don't believe in witches. I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Now will you come, Giles? No, John. I have a few quick questions of my own to ask this fellow. I heard you to be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you leave some of it in Salem. Will you look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning, waving her arms on the high road as though she tries to fly. Tries to fly. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name. That's surely a sign of witchcraft afoot. No, now let me instruct you. We cannot leap to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and I must instruct you that I shall not continue, unless you are prepared to believe me if I find no bruise of hell upon her. It is agreed, sir, it is agreed. We'll abide by your judgment. Good then. What were your first warnings of this strangeness? Why, I discovered my niece and my daughter and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest last night. You permit dancing? No, it was secret.
Mr. Paris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
Now, Goody Ann, we cannot be sure of that.
I know it, sir. I sent my daughter to go find who was murdering her babies. You sent a child to conjure? Let God blame me for it, Rebecca, not you. I will not have you judging me anymore. Is it normal to lose 7 children in childbirth?
Shh. 7 dead in childbirth.
Aye.
What book is that, sir?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world caught, defined, and calculated. Here the devil stands stripped of all of his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi, your succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the day and of the night. Have no fear, if she has truly come among us, I mean to crush him utterly, if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear her to get her free.
Then I must be going. I'm too old for this.
Why, Rebecca, we may open up all the boil of our troubles today.
I go to God for the cause of it.
I hope you do not mean we turn to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come on, Mr. Hale, let's get you on. Mr. Hale, I've always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books? What books? I do not know. She hides them from me. Who does this? Martha, my wife. I wake many a night and find a reading of a strange book. Now, what do you make of that? Why, that's not necessarily. It discomforts me. You see, last night, Marcus, I tried, and I cannot say my prayers. Then suddenly she closed the book and walked out the house, and Marcus, I could pray again. The stoppage of prayer, that is strange. I'll speak further on this with you. Well, I'm not saying she's touched the devil, sir. I just admire to know what books she reads and why she hides them. She'll not answer me, you see. I will discuss it later. Now mark me. If the devil is in here, you will see some frightful wonders in this room. So please to keep the wits about you. Mr. Putnam, will you please stand close in case she tries to fly? Betty, will you please sit up? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly? How could it be the devil? Why would the devil choose my house to strike? We have all men of licentious people in this town. What victory will the devil have to win a soul already bad? It is the best of us the devil wants, and who better than the minister? That's deep, Mr. Parrish. Deep, deep. Betty, answer Mr. Hale. Does someone afflict you, child? And not be a man or woman, mind you. Perhaps a bird invisible to others. A spider, a mouse, a frog. Are there some invisible figure birds you fly? In nave dabe sabuth, ite ile infernus. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say, sir, that I saw a kettle in the grass where they were dancing.
That was soup.
What sort of soup were in this kettle?
Why, it were beans and lentils.
Mr. Parrish, you did not notice, did you, any living thing in that soup, a movement? I do believe there was some movement in the soup.
That jumped in.
What jumped in?
Why, a very little frog jumped
A frog, Abby. Abigail, and maybe your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba.
She called the devil? I should like to speak with Tituba. Kudian, will you bring her up? When did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did he feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps, a trembling below the ground.
I didn't talk to no devil. Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a proper girl. She made me do it. She made Betty do it. Abby, she makes me drink blood.
Blood?
My baby's blood? No, chicken blood. I give she chicken blood.
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
No, sir. I don't truck with no devil.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
I love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit out her on you, have you not?
She sends her spirit out on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
She has often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood. You beg me to conjure. You beg me to make charm. Don't lie. She always comes to me in my sleep, and she makes me drink corruptions. Why you say that, Abby? Sometimes I wake in the middle of a hallway without a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing and singing her Barbados songs and tempting me with. Mr. Reverend,
I want you to wake this child.
I have no power over this child,
you most
sir.
certainly do, and you will fear from it now. When did you compact with the devil? You will confess yourself, or I will whip you to your death, Tituba. This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
No, don't hang Tituba. I tell the devil I don't work for him, sir.
The devil? Then you saw him. Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is a very hard thing to break. We will help you rip yourself free from it.
I think there be other people witching insurance, sir.
Who?
I know not. The devil has numerous witches, sir.
Does he? Tituba, look into my eyes. Come, look into them. You would make a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
I, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these little children, Tituba?
I don't wish to hurt no little children, sir.
And you love God, Tituba?
With all my being.
Now, in his name.
Bless him, bless him.
And to his glory.
Eternal glory, bless him,
Open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine upon you.
Oh, God, bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, who come with you with the devil? Was it someone in the village? Someone you know, perhaps? Who came with you with the devil? Was it Sarah Good? Was it Sarah Good or Osborne? Was it man or woman who came with you?
Man or woman? It were woman.
A woman, you said. What woman?
I know not. It was black dark and...
You could see him. How could you not see her?
Well, they was always singing and dancing and running.
You mean after Salem witches?
Aye, sir, Salem witches.
Tituba, you must give us all their names. The devil might try to attack you, but we will protect you, Tituba. The devil can never overcome a minister. Do you know that?
Aye, sir. Oh, I do.
You've confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you for it, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument put in our hands to discover the devil's agents among us. You are chosen, Tituba. You are selected to help cleanse our village. So speak utterly and turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
Oh, God, protect.
How many come with you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Their names.
Oh, how many times he bid you to kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me?
He say, Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris no goodly man. Mr. Paris mean man, no kindly man. And how many times he bid me to cut your throat? But I say, I don't hate that man. I don't wish to kill that man. But he say, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress and I fly you on home to Barbados. But I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then one night, he come to me and he say, look, I got white people who belong to me. And I look, and there was Sarah Good.
Sarah Good?
I, Sarah Goody Osborne. Oh, Thomas, how many times did I beg you? I begged you, did I not? Because every single time she were a midwife to me, my kids would shrivel in her hands.
Take courage, Tituba. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see this child suffering? Look at the Tituba. Look at her God-given innocence. Her soul is tender. We must protect her. The devil is preying on her like the beast upon the mesh of pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I saw the devil. I wrote my name in his book, but I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil. I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howie with the devil.
She speaks. She speaks. Glory to God. It is broken. They are free.
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil.
The marshal. I will call the marshal.
I saw Goody Sibber with the devil.
Have the marshal bring irons.
I saw Alice Burrows with the devil. I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil. I saw Goody Bibber with the devil. I saw Goody Booth with the devil. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil. I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil. I saw Alice Burrows with the devil. I saw Martha Bellows with the devil. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil. I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil. I saw Goody Bibber with the devil. I saw Goody Howie with the devil. What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
Our plantation followed by the forest edge.
Aye, so you're done then.
Aye, the farm is seated. The boys asleep.
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
I hope you are well today.
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No, I found her in the house today. She walked in like she'd come to visit.
Oh, well, that's a good sign walking in then.
Pray God it hurt me to strip her. Poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender.
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. It's warm as blood beneath the clods.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacobs' heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider.
Aye.
The farm's a continent when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
Aye, it must be.
You ought to bring some flowers in the home.
Oh, I will. I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday, let you walk the farm with me. I've never seen such a load of flowers on the earth. Lilac has a purple smell, I think. Lilac is the smell of nightfall. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You come so late this afternoon, I thought you'd gone to Salem.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I have thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why did you let her go? You heard me forbid to go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault, Elizabeth. It is a fault. You are the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
Elizabeth, how may that mouse frighten you?
It is a mouse no more, John. I forbid her to go to Salem, and she raises up her chin to me like the daughter of some prince and bids to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it is a proper court they have now. They've ordered 4 judges out of Boston, weighty magistrates of the general courts, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There be 14 accused now, she says. The court will try them, and they have the power to hang.
They never hang.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She mentioned Abigail, and I thought it were a saint to hear. Abigail brings the girls into the court, and wherever they walk, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel.
It is black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think you must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is, surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever, he knows you well. Tell him what Abigail told you in her uncle's house last week. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did.
God forbid you keep this from the court, John.
Aye, they must. It's a wonder how they do believe her.
Let you go to Salem, let you go tonight.
I will think on it.
John, you cannot keep it.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Then let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she has told me. If the girl's a saint now, it's hard to charge fraud, and the town gone so silly. She told me in a room alone. I have no witness.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone, aye.
Aye, then it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others coming soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I will not have your suspicion.
I have no...
I will not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet.
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to her, would you falter then? I think not.
Now look you, woman.
I see what I see, John.
You will judge me no more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you judge your husband any more. I've since forgot Abigail, and
I...
spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I've gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since she is gone. I've not moved from there to there without I think to please you, and still this everlasting funeral marches around your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted every moment judged for lies as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
You are not open with me, John. You saw her with a crowd, you said, and now
I
you're
plead
saying...
my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I...
No more! I should have wore you down when you first told me your suspicion, but I wilted, and like a Christian, I confessed. Confessed! Some dream I must have mistaken you for God that day, but you're not, Elizabeth, you're not. And let you remember it, and sometimes look for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you, John. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but anything but a good man, only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
Pray hurt me not, Mr. Proctor. I'm sick. I'm in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what are the proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you'll pay £9 a year to do so? And my wife not wholly well.
I made this for you today, Goody Proctor. I spend long hours in a chair in courts, and I pass the time by sewing. Aye, it is a fair pocket. We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor. Aye, indeed we must. I will wake up early tomorrow to clean the house, but I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, there be 39 now. Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child? Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He's sentenced, sir, he must. But not Sarah Good, for Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confess? Confess to what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and swore to worship hell until heaven is overthrown.
Well, surely you know what a jabber she is. You did tell them that.
But Mr. Proctor, she nearly choked us all to death in open court.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out. Oh, Mary, surely you... She's tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor. Well, you've never mentioned it before. I didn't know it before. I knew none of it before. When she first come into court, I say to myself, I will not accuse this woman, for she is old and poor. But then she sits there, denying and denying. And then I felt a cold wind start to go up the back of my neck. And then the skin on my skull began to crawl. And then I could not breathe air. And I hear a loud voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice. And then I remembered everything she had done to me.
Why? What she's done to you?
Oh, Mr. Proctor, many times she come to this very door begging bread and cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away, she mumbled. Mumbled? Why, she may mumble if she's hungry, but what does she mumble? You must remember now, Goody Proctor, last month, I thought I was sick for 2 days after I turned her away. Yes, that is true, but so I told that to Judge Hawthorne, and he goes there and he says, Sarah Good, what curse do you put upon this child that she be sick 2 days after turning you away? And she says, why, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I wish I could say my commandments. And that is an upright answer. But then, mark this. He says to her, recite for us your commandments. And in all of 10, she could not name one of them. And they had her flat in a lie.
And so condemned her.
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
But the proof.
I've told you the proof. It's hard proof, solid as a rock.
You'll not go to court again, Mary woman.
I must tell you, Mr. Proctor, I'll be gone every day for some time. It is a weighty work that we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But they'll not hang if they'll confess, Mr. Proctor. For Sarah Good will only sit in the jail for some time, you see. And mark this as a marvel. Sarah Good is pregnant. Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60. They had Dr. Riggs examine her. She's full to the brim, been smoking a pipe all these years without a husband. But thank God for the child, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. You see, it is a weighty work we do. I'm an official of the court, and
I'll official you.
I'll not stand whipping anymore. Mary, just please, no. The devil is loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor.
I'll
I
whip
must
the
find
devil
where
out
he
of
is
you.
hiding. I saved her life today. I am accused. You're somewhat mentioned. But I told them that I never see no sign that you ever send your spirit out on anyone. And since I live so closely with you, they believed me. Who accused me? I cannot say it. I just hope that you'll not be so sarcastical about me going no more. We sat with 4 judges today and we had dinner. I will have you talk to me civilly now, Mr. Proctor.
Go to bed, Mary woman.
I'll not be ordered to bed anymore. I am a woman 18, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Then go to bed.
Good night. Oh, the noose. The noose is up.
There will be no noose.
John, I knew all week it would come to this. She wants
They
me dead.
dismissed it. You heard her say it.
And what of tomorrow? She'll cry my name out until they take me, John.
Woman, sit you down.
She wants me dead, John. You know it.
Woman, sit you down. Now we must be wise.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Fear nothing. I will find Ezekiel Cheever and tell her she said it were all sport.
More than Cheever's help is needed now, John. But promise me this. Go to Abigail.
Abigail, what have I say to Abigail?
You have a faulty understanding of young girls, John. A promise is made in any bed. And she wishes
Promise?
to
What
dote
promise?
Spoken or silent, a promise is surely made. And she wishes to dote on it now and kill me to take my spot. It is her dearest hope, John. There be 1,000 names. Why does she call mine? I am no Goody Good that's older. Goody Osborne who's always drunk and half-witted. I am the wife of a farmer. There be a prodigious danger in the calling of such a name unless there be a monstrous prophet. She wishes to kill me to take my spot.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her any somewhat sign of contempt? For she cannot walk past you in church, and yet you blush.
I may blush for my sin, I think.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you, Elizabeth? What see you?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she's so close.
Woman, when will you know me? Were I stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 month.
Then go and tell her that she's a whore, John. Whatever promise was made, John, break it, John.
Fine, I'll go.
Oh, how unwillingly.
I will curse her harder than the oldest sinner in hell, but pray me, begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only asked you.
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? A promise a stallion gives the mare I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger when I bid you to break it?
Because it speaks deceit, and I am honest. But I plead no more. I see now that your spirit twists around the single error of my life, and I can never tear it free.
Oh, you will tear it free. When you realize I will be your only wife or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John. You know it.
Good evening. Mr. Hale, good evening, sir. I hope I do not startle you. You must be Goodwife Proctor. Aye, Elizabeth. I hope you're not off to bed yet. No, sir, we had not used the visitors after dark, but you're welcome, sir, you're welcome. Will you please sit? Aye, let you sit, Goodwife Proctor. Do you drink cider, Mr. Hale? No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further traveling with you tonight. I have some business with you. Business of the court? No, I come of my own without the court's authority. Now hear me. I know not if you're aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court. Aye, sir, Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed. I'm a stranger here, as you know, and I find it hard in my ignorance to draw a clear opinion of those who come accused. So now tonight and earlier this morning, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house, and...
Rebecca's charged?
Oh, God forbid such a one be charged. She is
You cannot believe one like Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible. Surely you cannot think so. These are strange times, mister. No man may longer doubt that the powers of darkness are gathered in a monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, sir. I have no knowledge in that line, but it's hard to think such a pious woman will be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer. Man, it is possible, but the devil is a wily one. However, I think she is far from accused, and I doubt that she will be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house. Why, we have no fear of questions, sir. Good, then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you are hardly in church on Sabbath day. No, sir, you are mistaken. 26th time in 17 months. I must call that rare. Will you tell me why you are so absent? Why, I never knew I must account to that man, Mr. Hale, for I either stayed in this home or stayed at church. My wife was sick this winter. So I am told, but you, sir, how could you not come alone? When I prayed at house, I either prayed in this house or I went to church, sir. Mister, your house is not the church. Your theology must tell you that. It does, sir, it does. But it also tells me that a man may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar. What golden candlesticks? Since we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis' nurse made them, you know, in a sweeter hand and never touched the metal. But Paris came in for 20 a week. He preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labor the earth from dawn of day to blink of night, and I tell you true, sir, when I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir, hurt my prayer. I think the man dreams cathedrals, not clapboard meeting houses. And yet, sir, a Christian on Sabbath day should be in church. Tell me, do you have 3 children? Aye, sir, boys. How comes it that only 2 are baptized? I like it not that Mr. Paris lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God within that man. I will not deny it. I must say, sir, that is not for you to declare. The man is ordained, therefore the light of God is within him. What's your suspicion, mister? I have none. I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door. Oh, you did? That's a good sign. That's a good sign. I may have been quick to bring the man to book, but you cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion here, mister. That certainly in your mind this is not. There is a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
Perhaps we have been too hard on Mr. Paris, but we never loved the devil here, sir.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
Aye, sir, all of them. I am a coveted Christian woman. There be no mark upon my life.
And you, sir? Sure I do. Let you repeat them if you will. My commandments? Aye. Thou shalt not kill? Aye. Thou shalt not steal? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image? Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain? Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt honor thy mother and father. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. You have said that twice, sir. I know.
Adultery, John.
You see, sir, between the two of us, we surely know them all. I think it'd be a small fault. Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small. We have no love for Satan here, mister. I pray it dearly. Now I bid you all good night.
Mr. Hale, you are somewhat suspecting me, are you not?
I do not judge you, Goody Proctor. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. Now I bid you all good night and good fortune.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no witness and cannot prove it except my word be taken. But I knew the child's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft. Not to do with witchcraft. Mr. Paris discovered them dancing in the woods, and he startled them, and they took sick. Who told you this? Abigail Williams, sir. Abigail Williams? Aye. Abigail Williams told you it had naught to do with witchcraft. She told me the day you came, sir. Why did you keep this? I never thought until now the town would go so silly with all this nonsense. Nonsense! Sir, I have myself examined Sarah Good Tituba and numerous others who have confessed themselves to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it. And why not if they must hang for denying it? There will them that will swear to anything before they hang. Have you not thought of it? I have, sir, I have, but would you testify this in court? I had not reckoned with going into court, but if I must, I will. Do you falter here? I falter nowhere. I may only wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I may wonder it when such a steady-minded minister as yourself may suspicion a woman who cannot lie. Everyone knows who cannot lie, and she will never lie. I may falter somewhat, sir. I am no fool. Proctor, let you open with me now. For there is a rumor that discomforts me. It tells me that you have no belief that there may even be witches in the world. I have no knowledge in that line. I have often wondered if there be witches in the world, although I cannot believe they come among us now. But surely you believe there are witches in the world. The gospel speaks of witches, and I will not deny them. And you, woman?
I cannot believe it, sir.
You cannot. Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot believe that the devil may own a woman's soul when she's kept nothing but an upright way such as I have.
Woman, but you surely believe there are witches in the world.
If I am accused of being one, then I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it.
But the gospel, you surely do not fly against the gospel. She believed in the gospel, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
She believed in the gospel, sir. This is a Christian house, sir, a Christian house. Let God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and let you go without each fail into Sabbath prayer each Sunday. Let you keep a solemn, quiet way about you. I think that the one, John! Giles, what's the matter? They take my wife, and here's Rebecca. Rebecca's in the jail. She will come and take her away on a wagon. We've only now come from the jail, and they won't even let us in to see them.
Oh, they've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Mr. Hale, I think they mistake these people. Will you please speak to Mr. Danforth? Pray, become a moment, Mr. Nurse. My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church, Mr. Hale. And Martha, call me. There is no woman closer than the God than Martha. How is your wife charged, Mr. Nurse? For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, sir? Believe me, Nurse, if Rebecca Nurse is tainted, then there's nothing left from stopping the green world from burning over. Let you rest upon the justice of the court, and I'm sure they will send her home. You surely cannot mean she will be testified in court. Nurse, though our hearts break, these are strange new times. It'd be criminal to cling to old aspects and ancient friendships. I've seen too many frightful proofs in the court. The devil is alive in Salem, and we dare not quail to follow wherever the suspecting figure points. How may such a woman murder children? Man, remember until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven. I only said my wife were reading books, not that she were a witch. What complaint were made about your wife exactly, Mr. Corey? That bloody Mongol Wilcott charged her. You see, he buy a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after. So he come dancing back for his money. My wife says, Wilcock, if you haven't the wit to properly feed a pig, you'll not live to own many. So he goes into court and claims from this day to that, he cannot keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitching him with the books. Good evening, Mr. Proctor. Good evening, Mr. Cheever. Good evening to you all. Good evening, Mr. Hale. I hope you come out of business of the court. Aye, sir, I'm a clerk of the court, now you know. It is a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven, must burn in hell for this. You'll burn for this, do you know it? You know yourself, I must do as I am told. Now, as life you not be sending me to hell, so I like not the sound of it, I like not the sound of it. Now, Mr. Proctor, you know how heavy be the law, and all its tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife, sir. You said she were not charged. I know nothing of it. When was she charged? I'm given 16 warrant tonight, sir. She is one. Who charged her? Why, Abigail Williams charged her. On what proof? What proof? Mr. Proctor, I am given little time. Now the court bid me search your house, and I dare not search a man's house. Would you hand me any poppets that your wife may keep? Poppets?
Why, I never kept poppets since I was a girl, sir.
I see a poppet right there, Goody Proctor.
Why, that's Mary's.
Will you please give it to me?
Has a new text been discovered on poppets?
Do you keep any others in the house? No, this one until tonight. Now what signifies a poppet? Why, a poppet may signify that. Well, woman, will you please come with me? No, she will not. Elizabeth, fetch Mary. No, I'm forbid to leave her from my sight. You will leave her out of sight and out of mine. Fetch Mary. What signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever? Why, it may signify that. Why, this. What is it? Why, it is a needle. Herrick, it is a needle. And what signifies a needle? Why, this go hard against him, Mr. Proctor. I had my doubts, but this is calamity, sir. What meaning has it? The Williams girl, sir, Abigail Williams. She sat tonight at Reverend Parris's house for dinner, and without word nor warning, she collapses to the floor like a struck beast, he says. And she screams a scream that Bald would weep to hear. And when he goes to help her, he pulls 2 inches deep within her belly. A needle is stuck. And he claims that it were your wife's familiar spirit who pushed it in. Why, she's done it herself. Surely you're not taking this for proof, mister. It is hard proof. I find here a poppet that Goody Proctor keeps, and within the poppet a needle is stuck. Now I bid you not to obstruct me, sir. I believe that... Mary, Mary, come here. You will tell them how this puppet came into my house.
What puppet's that, sir?
That puppet, that puppet.
Why, it is mine.
It is your puppet, is it not?
Yes, it is.
How did it come into my house?
I made it today in court and gave it to Goody Proctor.
You made it yourself?
Yes.
There, sir, do you have it? Mary Warren, a needle was found stuck inside this puppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
So you stuck the needle in yourself?
Yes, but...
What say you now, mister? Mary, are you certain this be your natural memory? May it be perhaps that even now someone conjures you to say this?
Conjures me? No, sir, I am entirely myself. Ask Susanna Walcott. She sat right next to me as I made it, or ask Abigail. She was sitting right next to me.
Bid him out, Mr. Hale. Your mind is surely settled now. Get them gone.
What signifies a needle?
Mary, you charge a cruel plot to murder on Abigail Williams.
Murder? I never!
Abigail was found stabbed tonight, and a needle was found stuck inside her belly.
And she accuses me.
Aye.
Why? Why, that girl is murder. She must be torn out of the world.
You heard it. Ripped out of the world. Havoc, you heard it. Out with you. You dare not touch the water. Out with you. You dare not touch the breath. Out. Get out with you. You are a broken minister. Proctor, if she is innocent, why do you not wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail be innocent? Are the accusers always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We always weren't Salem, but the crazy little children are dangling the keys of the kingdom. In common vengeance writes the law. This warrant is vengeance. I will not give my wife to vengeance.
John, I think I must go with him.
You will not go. I have 9 men outside, John. You cannot keep her. The lamb binds me. I cannot budge. You will see her taken. Proctor, if the court is just, Pontius Pilate, God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I will go. Mary, there's bread enough for the morning. Help Mr. Proctor as if you were his sister. You owe me that much and so much more. John, speak nothing of witchcraft to the children. It'll only frighten them.
I will bring you home, Elizabeth. I will bring you soon.
Oh, John, bring me home soon.
I will fall like an ocean upon that court, Elizabeth. Fear nothing.
I'll fear nothing. Tell the children I'm going to go visit someone sick.
Damn it, Carrick, don't chain her. I will not have it, man. I will not have her chained. And yet, silent minister, it is fraud. You know it is fraud. What keeps you? Herrick, I will pay you. I will surely pay you. In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. Now stay inside this house till I am gone. Proctor, out of here. Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in court. God help me, I cannot judge her guilty or innocent, I know not. Only consider this, it profit nothing to lay the cause of vengeance upon the vengeance of a little girl. You are a coward. Though you are ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now. I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. The greatest judges sit in Salem, and hanging is promised. You must look to cause proportionate, man. Whether murder done and not brought to light, some abomination, some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven. You must look to find cause, man, and help me discover it. For there is your way, there is your only way when such confusion is struck upon the world. That you counsels amongst yourselves and discover why heaven might have brought such thundering wrath upon your village. I pray to God he open up all our eyes. I've never heard no murder done in Salem. Leave me, Francis, leave me. Tell me, John, are we lost? Go home, Charles, we'll speak on it tomorrow. I will come early then. Aye. Good night. Good night.
Mr. Proctor, they'll let her come home soon. They just need evidence is all.
You will go into the court and tell them what you know.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell them who made that puppet and who stuck the needle in it.
She'll murder me for saying that, Mr. Proctor. She'll charge a lechery on you.
She knows.
She's told me. She'll ruin you with it, Mr. Proctor.
Good then. As saintliness is done with, we'll slide into this pit together. You will tell them what you know.
They'll turn against me.
My wife will not die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
I cannot do it. I cannot.
Make your peace with it. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs, and all our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace with it. Peace. It is a providence of no great we were what we always were, but now we are naked. Aye, naked, and God's icy wind will blow. Now, Martha Corey, there is abundant evidence in our hands that show that you have given yourself to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent of a witch. I know not what a witch is.
How do you know, then, that you are not a witch?
If I were one, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these little children?
I do not hurt those children. I scorn them.
I bring evidence for the court. You will keep your seat. Thomas Putnam is reaching for land. Remove that man, Marshal. You're hearing lies. Lies. Arrest him, Excellency. I bring evidence. You not hear my evidence. Hands up, let me go. Stop it. Stab you, Havoc. Giles, stab you, Havoc. Let me go. You cannot go in there, Giles. It is a court. Pray be common moments, sir. Mr. Hale, go in there, demand I speak. A moment, sir, a moment. It is my wife they be condemning now. How dare you come roaring into this court? Have you gone daft, Corey? You're not a Boston judge yet, Hawthorne. You'll not be calling me daft. Who is this man? Giles Corey, sir. A more contentious I am asked the question, so I'm old enough to answer it. The name is Corey, Sir Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition. It'd be my wife you'd be condemning now. And how do you plan to help our cause with such contemptuous right? Begone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this. But you be telling lies about my wife, sir. Do you take it upon yourself? What this court shall believe and what it shall set aside. I mean no disrespect, sir, but disrespect indeed. This is disruption. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know that? I only said that you were reading books, sir. And they come take out of my house and say, what books? It is my third wife, sir. I've never had a wife so taken with books. I only thought to find the cause of it, but there was no witch I blamed her for. Your Excellency, he claims he has hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think that in all justice that let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You are surely well of our procedures here, Mr. Hale. Clear this room. Please, sir, we've come here 3 days. It cannot be heard. Who is this man? Francis, His Excellency. We're his wife, Rebecca, that were condemned this morning. Indeed. I'm amazed to find you in such uproar. I have nothing but good report of your character. I think they must both be arrested for contempt, sir. Let you write your proper plea, and in due time, Excellency, we have evidence for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it. The girls, sir, the girls are frauds. What's that? They are deceiving you. It's contempt, sir, contempt. Peace. Judge Hawthorne. Do you know who I am, Mr. Nurse? Aye, sir. And I think you must be a wise man to be what you are. And you know that up to 400 are in the jails from Marblehead to Lynn in upon my signature. I send 72 condemned by that signature. I not thought to say to such a weighty judge, sir, but you are deceived. Mary Warren, what are you about? She would speak to the deputy governor. Did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed? Ah, Your Honor, when we go to fetch her for the court last week, she said she was sick. She has been striving with her soul, Your Honor. She comes now to tell you the truth of this. Who is this man? John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife. Beware this man, Excellency. This man is mischief. I believe the girls have evidence, and I believe that you should pray you. What would you tell us, Mary Warren? She never saw no spirits. Never saw no spirits. Never! She assigned a deposition, sir. No, 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 I accept no depositions. Mr. Proctor, have you given up the story to the rest of the village? I have not, sir. They have come to overthrow this court, Your Honor. I pray you, Mr. Paris. Do you understand, Mr. Proctor, that the entire state of the contention of these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through these children? I know it, sir. And you, Mary Warren, how you come to cry out people for sending the spirit out on you?
It were pretense, sir.
What? Pretense, sir. Oh, and the others? Susanna Wilcock and the other girls, they are also pretending.
Aye, sir.
Indeed. Surely, Your Excellency, will not such a vile lie be spread in open court? Indeed not. But it strike hard upon me that she will come into this court with such a tale. Now, Mr. Proctor, before I decide whether or not I should hear you, it is my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here. We melt away all concealment. I know it, sir. Let me continue. I understand well a husband's tenderness may drive him to extravagance in the defense of a wife. Are you certain in your conscience your evidence is truth? Aye, it is, sir, and you will surely know it. And you thought to declare this revelation in open court before the public. I thought I would, sir, with your permission. Now, sir, what is your purpose in so doing? What? Why, I would free my wife, sir. There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor secret in your spirit, any desire to undermine this court. No, Your Honor. Aye, Excellency. Mr. Cheever. I think it be my duty, sir. You will not deny, John, that when we come to take his wife, he damned the court and ripped your warrant. There you have it. He has done this, Mr. Hale. Aye, he did. It would temper, sir. I knew not what I have done. Mr. Proctor. Aye, sir. Have you ever seen the devil? No, sir. And you in all respects a gospel Christian. Aye, sir. Such a Christian who will not come to church but once a month. Not come to church. I have no love for Mr. Paris. That is no secret. But God I surely love. He plows on Sunday, sir. Plows on Sunday. I think it be evidence, John, you will not deny it. I am a clerk of the court now. I may once or twice have plowed on Sunday. I have 3 children, sir, and until last year my land gave very little. You'll find other Christians that plow on Sunday, if the truth be told. Your Honor, I do not think you could judge a man based on such evidence. I believe that I judge nothing. I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I have seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I have seen them stuck by pins and slashed by daggers. And I haven't until now the slightest reason to suspect that these children may be deceiving me. Do you understand my meaning? Aye, sir. Do you read the gospel, Mr. Proctor? I read the gospel. Oh, I think not. Or you know that Cain were an upright man, and yet he did kill Abel. Aye, God tells us that. But who tells us Rebecca Nurse murdered 7 dead babies, but the children are the only ones that have said this. And this one will swear that she has lied to you. Aye, she is the one. Mr. Proctor, I have a claim sent by a wife this morning in which she states that she is pregnant. My wife? Pregnant? There be no sign of it. We have examined her. But Your Honor, if she says she's pregnant, then she must be. That woman can never lie, Mr. Danforth. She can never. Never, sir, never. We have deemed it too convenient to be credited. However, if I should tell you that we shall examine her, and if she shows her natural signs within a month, she shall be kept living another year. What say you to that? Come, men, you'll say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good then, she is saved this year, and a year is long. What say you? It is done. Will you drop this? I think I cannot, sir. Then your purpose is somewhat larger. They have come to overthrow this court, Your Honor. These are my friends. Their wives are also accused. I judge nothing, sir. I am ready to hear your evidence. I've come not to attack the court, sir, but Marshal, go into the court and bid Judge Stoughton and Seville to declare the court in recess for an hour. Let them go to the tavern if they will, but keep all witnesses and prisoners inside the building. Aye, sir. If I may say it, sir, I knew this man my whole life. 'Tis a good man. I'm sure of it, Marshal. Now, Mr. Proctor, what deposition do you have for us? And I beg you, be clear and as open as the sky and honest. I have no lawyers, sir, but the pure of heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will. Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testimony. The people signing it declare their good opinion of Rebecca Nurse, my wife, and Martha Corey. Their good opinion. These are all landowning farmers, members of the church. And if you'll notice, sir, they'd known these women for many years and never saw that they had any dealings with the devil. How many names are on these? 91, Excellency. These people should be summoned for questioning. Mr. Danforth, I gave all these people my word. No harm shall come to them for signing this. This is a clear attack upon the court. Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one, just every innocent and Christian person in Salem are happy for the courts in Salem? These people are too gloomy for it. And I think you would want to know from each and every one of them what discontents them with you. I think it ought to be examined, sir. I do not think it's necessarily an attack, but Your Honor, these are all coveted Christians, sir. Then they have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever, have warrants drawn for all of these. Arrest for examination. What other information do you have for us, mister? You may sit, Mr. Nurse. I brought great trouble upon these people. No, sir, you have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand it that a person is either with this court or must be counted against it. There is no road in between. We live in a sharp time now, a precise time. We no longer live in that dusky afternoon when good mixes itself with evil and befuddles the world. But by God's grace, the shining sun is up, and all who will not fear it will surely praise it. I hope you will be one of those. She is not haughty. No, sir, she is not. Mary, remember what the angel said to the boy Tobias. Do which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Aye, sir.
Come, man, we wait on you. Aye, sir. John, my deposition, give him mine. Aye. This is Mr. Corey's deposition. What lawyer drew this, Corey? You know well I'd never hired a lawyer in my life, Hawthorne. You It is well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Parris, if Mr. Putnam is in the building, will you please bring him in? You have no legal training, Mr. Corey. I have the best, sir. I've been 33 in time in court and always plaintiff too. Then you're much put upon. I'm never put upon. I know my rights and I shall have them. You know, your father tried a case of mine. Might be 35 years ago, I think. Indeed. He never told you of it. I cannot recall it. That's strange. He gave me £9 damages. Was a fair judge, your father. You see, I once had a white man that tinge. And this man come to borrow the man. Oh, there he is. Mr. Putnam, I have here an accusation by Mr. Corey against you. He claims you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs that now lay in jail. It is a lie. Mr. Putnam declares that your charge is a lie. What say you to that? I fought on Thomas Putnam. That is what I say to that. What proof do you submit for your charge, sir? The proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, he forfeits his land. That is the law. And there is no one but Putnam with a coin to buy such a great peace. This man is murdering his neighbors for their land. But the proof, sir, the proof. The proof is there. I heard it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughter cried witchery upon Jacobs, she said she'd give him a fair gift of land for it. And the name of this man? What name? The man that give you this information. I cannot give you his name. And why not? You know well why not. He'll lay in jail if I dare give his name. This is contempt of the court, Mr. Danforth. You will surely give us the name. I can give you no name. I mentioned my wife's name once and I'll burn in hell long enough for it. I stand mute. In that case, you leave me no choice but to arrest you for contempt of the court. This is a hearing. You cannot clap me in contempt of a hearing. What is a proper lawyer? Do you wish me to declare the court in full session here, or will you give me good reply? I cannot give you a name, sir. You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. The court is now in full session. Now, Mr. Corey, the government asks you the name of your honor. You have the story in confidence, sir. The devil lives in such confidence. Without confidence, there'd be no conspiracy, your honor. I think it ought to be examined, sir. Indeed. Mr. Corey, if your informant tells the truth, let him come into court like an honest man. But if he hides anonymity, I must know why. Now, the central government and church ask you the name of the man who charged Mr. Thomas Putnam as a common murderer. Excellency. Mr. Hale. I think this speaks to the heart, man. There is a prodigious fear in the country, sir. We cannot blink it more. Then there is a prodigious guilt in the country. Are you afraid to be questioned here, Mr. Hale? I may fear nothing but God, sir, but there is a fear nonetheless. Reproach me not with this fear in the country. There is a fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in the country. But it does not mean that everyone accused is a part of it. No uncorrupted man may fear this court, Mr. Hale. Now you, sir, are arrested for contempt of the court. Now sit down and take counsel with yourselves, or you will lay in jail until you are answered to every question I've asked you. Giles, no, I'll cut your throat, Putnam. I'll kill you, yes. Peace, Giles, peace. Don't say anything to John. They're trying to play us. They mean to hang us all. This is a court of law, mister. I will have no effrontery here. Forgive him for his old age, sir. Peace, Giles, peace. We'll prove this all now. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember what the angel said to the boy. Hold on to it, for there is your rock. This is Mary Warren's deposition, sir. I would ask you, while you read it, she were no different than the other girls are 2 weeks ago. She screamed. She howled. She swore familiar spirits choked her. She swore that Satan, in the form of women that now lay in jail, had tried to win her soul away. And when they refused, we all know this. Aye, sir. She swears she never saw no spirits, vague or clear, that the devil may have sent to hurt her. Excellency, I think this speaks to the heart of the matter. It surely does. I cannot judge him if he is honest. I know him little, but in all God's name, sir, please stop here. A claim so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. I pray you let him go home and bring a proper lawyer. Now look you, Mr. Hale. I have signed 72 death warrants, sir. I'm a minister of the Lord. I dare not take a name without there be slightest qualm of proof that's so immaculate that no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it yet. You surely do not doubt my justice, Mr. Hale. Your Honor, this morning I have signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse. I will not deny it, sir. My hand shakes as yet with a wound. I pray you, this case, let lawyers present to you. Mr. Hale, of a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I have been 32 years at the bar, and I was confounded upon where I called to defend these people. I'll let you consider this, and I bid you all do likewise. In an ordinary case, how does one defend the accused? One calls upon a witness to defend their innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto, and on its face and in its nature, an invisible crime, is it not? Therefore, who may be left to witness it? The witch and her victim, none other. Now we cannot hope that the witch will accuse herself. Therefore, we must rely upon the testimony of her victims. And they certainly do testify. These children testify. And as for the witch, the court is most eager for their confession. Therefore, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my case, have I not? But the girl claims that the girls are not truthful, sir, which is precisely what I am about to consider, Mr. Hale. What may more have you asked of me, or unless you doubt my probity yet? No, sir, let you continue then. And let you put your heart at ease. Her deposition. Now, Mary Warren, how come you to turn yourself about these past 2 weeks? Has Mr. Proctor ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me you sat in my court, callously lying, when you knew that others would hang by your evidence. Answer me!
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you know that God damns all liars, or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I'm with God now.
You're with God now.
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this, Mary. You are either lying now or you were lying in the court. Either way, you've committed perjury, and you will lay in jail for it. You cannot lightly say that you lied, Mary.
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Ruth Putnam is not in the court, sir. This will be sufficient. Children, your friend Mary Warren has given us a claim in which she states that she has never saw any spirits nor manifest of the devil. She claims that neither of you have seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law, the law based upon the Bible, and the Bible writ, by Almighty God forbid the practice of witchcraft and deem death as the penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the church and Bible damn all bearers of false witness. Now, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan and is sent here to distract our holy purpose. If so, her neck will break. But if she speaks true, I bid you now drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you. Abigail Williams, is there any truth in this?
No, sir.
Children, a very auger bit will be driven into your souls until your honesty is proved. Will either of you change your position, or do you force me into hard questioning?
I have not to change it, sir. She lies.
And you would still go on with this?
Aye.
Very well. A puppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in court when she made it, and that you saw her make it, and how you saw that she stuck the needle into it herself for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
When you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you ever see puppets in the house?
Why, Goody Proctor always kept puppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no puppets. Mary Warren swears that it was not her puppet. Excellency, Mr. Jeever. When I go ask Goody Proctor in her house, she said she never kept no puppets, but she did keep puppets when she were a girl. She has been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor. But a puppet will keep 15 years, will it not? It will keep if it is kept. But Mary Warren swears that she never saw no puppets, nor anyone else. Why could there not have been puppets when no one has ever seen them? There might have been a five-legged dragon in my house, but no one has ever seen it. We are here, Your Honor, to discover precisely what no one has ever seen. Mr. Danforth, what profit this girl to turn herself about? What may Mary Warren gain but hard questioning and worse? You charge a marvelous coup plot to murder on Abigail Williams. Do you know that? I, sir, believe she intends to murder. This child would murder your wife. It is a child no more. Now here, sir. Twice this year she was put out of the meeting house for laughing during prayer. What's this laughing during prayer? Excellency, she wanted Tituba's powers at the time, but she is solemn now. Aye, Solomon goes to hang people. Men, be quiet. Surely you'd have no bearing on the question, Excellency. He charges contemplation of murder. Indeed. Proceed, Mr. Proctor. Mary, tell the governor how you danced in the woods. Your Honor, since I come to Salem, this man has been blackening my... In a moment, sir. What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor...
Abigail leads the girls into the woods and they have danced there naked. Your Honor, this is... Mr. Paris discovered them himself in the dead of the night. There is the child she is. Mr. Paris. Your Honor, I would say that they were never dancing naked. But they have danced in the woods. Abigail. Excellency, since I arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris did tell me that. Do you deny this, Mr. Paris? I cannot, sir, but I never saw any of them dancing naked. But they have danced. Aye, sir. If you will permit me, Excellency, pray proceed. You say you never saw no spirits, Mary, were never threatened nor afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agents.
No, sir.
And yet when people accused of witchcraft confronted you in the court, you'd faint, saying they sent their spirits out of their bodies and joked you.
It were pretense, sir.
What?
Pretense, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I picked you up many times, and your skin were icy. Mr. Danforth, you surely... We saw that many times. They're only pretending, Mr. Danforth. They are all marvelous pretenders. Then could you pretend to faint now? Now? Why not? No spirits are attacking her, for none in this room are accused of witchcraft. Let her turn herself cold. Let her pretend she is being attacked. Let her faint. Faint.
Faint?
I faint. Prove to us how you pretended in the court so many times.
I cannot do it.
Why? What is lacking?
I have no sense of it now.
May it be that we have no afflicting spirits loose, but in the court there was some.
I never saw no spirits.
Then see no spirits now, and prove to us that you can faint by your own free will as you claim.
I cannot do it, sir.
Then you will confess yourself. It were afflicting spirits that made you faint.
No, sir,
Your Excellency, this is a trick to blind the court.
It is not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them.
But I did not, Your Honor.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell how. But I heard the girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them. It were only sports in the beginning, but then the whole world started screaming, spirits, spirits. But I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I never saw no spirits.
Surely Your Excellency is not taken by such a simple lie. Abigail, I bid you search your heart, and beware of it, child. For God, every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on those who take life without cause. May it be, child, that these spirits you have seen are illusion, some deception that may cross your mind simply when...
Why, this is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have you consider it.
Mr. Danforth, I have been hurt. I have seen the blood running out. I have been nearly killed every single night but to do God's work and point out the devil's people. And this is how I'm repaid? To be questioned, denied, and
Child,
mistrusted?
I do not mistrust you.
Oh, Mr. Danforth, do you think you be so high and mighty that the power of hell may not shake your wits? Let you beware it. There is a...
What is it, child?
I know not. A wind, a cold wind has come. Abby, Your Honor, I freeze.
They're pretending. She is cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you send this shadow on me? Oh, Lord, help me. I freeze, I freeze. It is a wind. It is a wind.
Mary Warren, do you witch? I say, do you send your spirit out?
Let me go, Mr. Proctor. I cannot. Oh, Heavenly Father, take away this shadow.
Man, what are you about? Take your hands off of her. How do you call heaven? You whore! You whore! Man, take your hands off of her. What are you doing? It is a whore! It is a whore! Man, what you... Mark her! Mark her! She'll suck a scream to stab you with, but you will prove this. This will not pass. I have known her, sir. I have known her. You are a lecher? John, you cannot say such a... Oh, Francis, I wish you had some evil in you that might know me yet. A man will not cast away his good name. You surely know that. In what time? In what place? In the proper place, where my beasts are petted. On the last night of joy, some 8 months past, you used to serve me in my house, sir. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know it now, sir. I beg you, sir, see her for what she is. My wife, my dear good wife, took this girl soon after and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity. Excellency, forgive me. Forgive me. She thinks to dance with me in my wife's grave. And what she thought for, I might thought of her softly. God help me, I lusted. And there was such promise and such sweat. But it is a whore's vengeance. You must see it now, sir. I put myself entirely in your hands. You must see it now. Do you deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that. I will leave and I will never come back.
I have made the bell of my honor. I have run the doom of my good name. Mr. Danforth, you must believe me, my wife were innocent, except she knew a whore when she saw one.
Why do you look at me like that? I will not have such looks.
You will stay where you are. Mr. Paris, go into the court and bring out Goodwife Proctor. Excellency, you will bring her out and tell her not one word of what's been spoken here, and knock before you enter. Now we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, Mr. Proctor, is an honest woman. She cannot lie, Mr. Danforth. There are them that cannot sing and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie. I've paid much to learn it, sir. And when she put this girl out of your house, she put her out for a harlot. Aye, sir. And she knew her for a harlot. Aye, sir, she knew her for a harlot. Good then. And if she tell me, child, it were for harlotry, may God spread his mercy on you. Hold! No one in this room is to speak one word to Goodwife Proctor, or raise a gesture, A or nay. Turn your back. Turn your back. Do likewise. Enter. Mr. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Goody Proctor, you look into me, my eyes only, and not at your husband.
Good sir.
We are given to understand that at one point you dismissed your servant Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what reason did you dismiss her? Woman, you will look into my eyes and not at your husband. The answer lay in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me. Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
Woman, look at me. Was she slovenly, lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Mr. Danforth, for some time I was sickened. My husband, he is a goodly man. He is never at the shovel board of some hour, always drunk, but he is always at work. And after my last child, I was sick for some time, and I began to think that my husband was somewhat turning from me with this girl.
Woman?
Aye, sir, Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think that he somewhat fancied her. So one night I lost my wits and I threw her out on the high road.
Did your husband indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Woman, look at me. To your knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her, Marshal. Elizabeth, tell the truth. She has spoken. Remove her. Elizabeth, I've confessed it.
Oh, God.
Your Honor, she only thought to save my name. Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I bid you stop now before another life is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it no more. Private vengeance is working through this testimony. From the beginning, this man has always struck me true. And by my oath to heaven, I believe him now.
You will not! Be gone, I say!
What is it? What's up there?
It's on the beam behind the rafters.
Where?
Why do you come, yellow bird?
What bird? I see no bird.
My face? My face?
Mr. Hale, be quiet. Do you see a bird? Be quiet.
But God made my face. You could not want to tear it. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary. Abby. Oh, what a black art is it for you to change your shape. No, I cannot stop my mouth. It is God's work I do. Abby, I'm here.
They're pretending, Mr. Danforth.
Oh, Mary, please don't come down. Her claws, she's stretching her claws.
Lies, lies.
Oh, Mary, please don't hurt me. I'm not hurting her.
Why does she see this vision?
She sees nothing. She sees nothing. Abby, you mustn't. Abby, you mustn't. I'm here.
Mary Warren, you have seen the devil, have you not?
Never.
Why can they only repeat you? Give me a whip, I'll stop it.
There's sport in there. Abby, stop it. Abby, stop it. Stop it.
A little while ago, it seems that you afflicted. Now that it seems that you afflict others.
I have no power.
They're calling you Mr. Mary Warren. Why did you turn yourself about these past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you not? Excellency, Mary, goddams are liars. You will have seen the devil, have you not? You have made compact with Lucifer. Mary, goddams liars. You will answer me. You will hang if you do not. Be open with me. Did you see the devil? Mary, remember what the angel said to the boy Tobias.
Her wings.
Do what is good.
Her wings. She's spread wings. Mary, please don't.
Excellency, I see nothing.
She's
You will confess this power.
She's going to come down. She's walking the beam.
Confess. Cast the devil out. Look him in the face. Only stand fast against him, Mary. We'll protect you.
Look out. She's coming down.
Mary, tell the governor how you...
Don't touch me, don't touch me.
Mary!
You are the devil's man.
Praise God!
Praise God.
Mary, how?
I will not go your way no more. I will not hang with you.
He bid you do the devil's work.
He comes to me by night and every day to sign.
Sign what? The devil's book. He come with a book.
My name. He wants my name. I'll murder you, he says. If my wife will hang, we must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale.
His eyes were like coals, and his hands were like claws. And I sign.
Excellency, this child has gone wild. Mary!
No! I will not go your way no more. I will not hang with you. I love God. Abby, I'll never hurt you no more.
What are you? You are combined with Antichrist, are you not? I've seen your powers, mister. You will not deny it. What say you? Excellency, I will hear nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself, be found with hell, or do you keep your black allegiance yet? What say you? I say God is dead!
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Sarah Good. Wake up, Sarah Good.
Oh, Majesty, coming. Teachable, His Majesty's here.
Go to the north cell. This place is wanted now.
That don't look like me to the Majesty. Look like me to the Marshal.
Go on, clear this place.
Oh, is it you, Marshal? I thought you sure be the devil coming on to get us. Can I have a sip of cider for my trip?
And where are you off to, Sarah?
We going to Barbados as soon as the devil gets here with the feathers and the wings.
Oh, a happy voyage to you.
Oh, it'd be a bluebird flying southerly for the two of us. It's a grand transformation, Mr. Marshal.
You best give me that. You'll not be rising off the ground. Now, come on, give it to me.
Oh, I could tell the devil if you want to come along, Marshal.
I not refuse it, teachable. It's proper money to fly into hell.
Oh, there be no hell in Barbados. Devil him be pleasure man in Barbados. Him be singing and dancing in Barbados. It's you folks rouse him up round here. It be too cold for that old boy. But in Barbados, he's just a sweet. Hey, sir, that's him over there. That's him, Sarah. Oh, Majesty, I'm here.
Come along now, come along.
No, I'm going home.
That's not Satan. It's just a poor old cow with a hat full of milk. Now come along, clear this place.
Take me home, devil, take me home. Oh, Teachable, tell him that Sarah Good's coming. Tell him that Sarah Good is coming too.
Oh, good morning, Excellency. Where's Mr. Paris? I'll go fetch him. Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive? It would toward midnight, I think. What's his business here? He goes among them that were hanged, sir, and he prays to them. He sits now with Rebecca Nurse and Mr. Paris with him. Indeed, but that man have no right to enter here. Why did you let him in? Mr. Paris did command me, sir. I cannot deny him. Are you drunk, Marshal? No, sir. It is bitter night, and I have no fire here. Fetch Mr. Paris. Aye, sir. There is a prodigious stench in this place. I've only now cleared it out for you, sir. Beware hot drink, Marshal. Aye, sir. Let you question Hail, Excellency. I not be surprised if he be preaching in Andover lately. We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prays with him. That is strange. Excellency, I wonder if it be wise to let Paris so continuously with the prisoners. I think the man has a mad look these days. Mad. I met him this morning going out of his house. I bid him good morning, and he wept and went his way. I think it's not well the village see him so unsteady. Perhaps they have some sorrow. I think it be the cows, sir. Cows? There be so many cows wandering the high roads now that the master's in the jails, and much arguing of who they will belong to now. I know that Mr. Paris will be arguing with farmers all day yesterday. There's much contention about the cows, sir. The contention always makes the man weep, sir. It were always a man who weep for contention. Good morning, Excellency. I beg your pardon waking you early. Good morning, Judge Arthur. Reverend Hale have no right to enter here. Excellency, sir, a moment. Do leave him alone with the prisoners. What's his business here? Excellency, sir, it is Providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca nurse to God. He bids her confess. Hear me. Rebecca have not given me 3 words since she came. Now she sits with him and her sister and Martha Corey and 1 or 2 others, and he pleads with them, confess their crimes and save their lives. It is indeed Providence, and they soften. They soften? Not yet, but I thought, sir, to ask you a question. I'd wonder if it'd be wise, sir, to ask you, Mr. Paris, I beg you, be plain. What troubles you? There is news, sir. The news that the court must reckon with. My niece, sir, I believe she has vanished. Vanished? I had thought to inform you early in the week, sir, but why? How long is she gone? It'd be the 3rd night, sir. You see, she told me she would spend a night at Mercy Lewis's house, and the next day when she's not returned, I sent her Mr. Lewis to inquire. Mercy had told them that she would spend the night at my house, and they are both gone. Aye, sir. I will send a party for them. Where may they be? Excellency, I think they be aboard a ship. You see, my daughter heard them speaking of ships last week, and tonight I discovered my strong box broken into. She have robbed you. 31 pound is gone, sir. I am penniless. Mr. Paris, you are a brainless man. Excellency, a prophet, nothing. You should lay the cause of blame to me. I cannot think they would fear to keep him Salem anymore, except they fear to stay here anymore. Abigail had close knowledge to the town, mister. And since the news of Andover have broke here recently, Andover is remedied. The court will return there on Friday and resume examinations. Aye, sir, but the rumor here speaks of rebellion. And if so, there is no rebellion in Andover. I will tell you what is said here, sir. Andover has thrown out the court they say and will have no part of witchcraft. I think there'll be a faction here feeding on that news, and I fear there will be riots, sir. Right. Well, at every execution I have not seen but high satisfaction in the town. Judge Hawthorne, it were another sort that hanged till now. Rebecca nurses know Bridget that lived with Bishop 3 years until they married. John Proctor's know Isaac Ward that drank his family to ruin. I pray to God it were not, sir. These people have great weight yet in the town. Let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and set up some righteous prayer, and I feel that she will send a wake and a vengeance upon you. She is condemned a witch, sir, therefore the court must have, I pray you. How do you propose then? I would postpone these hangings for a time. There will be no postponement. Excellency, now that Reverend Hale has returned, there is hope, I think, for even if he brings one of them to God, their confession surely damns the rest in the public eye. Therefore, none may think that they are longer linked to hell. Therefore, unconfessed and unclaiming innocence doubts are multiplied. Many honest people would weep for their deaths, and our purpose is lost in their tears. Give me the list. Excellency, it cannot be forgot, sir, that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people there to hear. I think that speaks discontent. There will be no postponement. Excellency, now, sir, which one of these in your hope do you think may be brought to God? I will myself strive with them until dawn. Excellency, there is not sufficient time until dawn. I shall do my utmost. And which one of these do you have hope for? Excellency, a dagger. What? When I opened my door to leave, sir, a dagger clattered to the ground. You cannot hang this sword. There is great danger for me. I dare not step out at night. Mr. Hale, I'm glad to see you return to your good work. You must pardon these. They will not budge. You mistake me, sir. I cannot pardon these when 12 are already hanged for the same crime. It is not just. Rebecca will not confess. I must have more time, Excellency. The sun is soon up. Hear me, and beguile me no more. I will not receive a single plea or pardon for postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed, and the name of these 7 are given out in the town, and they expect to see them die within the morning. While I speak the voice of God, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. If retaliation is what you fear, know this, I shall hang 10,000 that dared rise against this law. and an ocean of salty tears cannot melt away the resolution of these statues. Now draw yourselves up and help me as you are bound by heaven to do so. Have you spoken to them all, Mr. Hale?
All but Proctor, sir. He's in the dungeon.
And what does Proctor's way now?
He sits like some great bird, sir. You know not he lived except he takes food from time to time.
And his wife? His wife must be well on with child now.
Aye, sir, she is.
What do you think, Mr. Barris? You have closer knowledge to the men. Might her presence soften him?
It is possible, sir. He has not laid eyes upon her these 3 months. I should summon her.
Has Mr. Proctor hit you again, Mr. Herrick?
No, he is chained to the wall, sir. He cannot strike me.
Let you bring out Goodwife Proctor, then bring him up.
Aye, sir. Excellency, if you postpone these hangings for a week, that speaks a mercy on your part, not a faltering.
Mr. Hale, as God has not empowered me like Joshua to stop the sun from rising, he cannot permit me to stop the perfection of their punishment.
Excellency, if you think God's will is for you to raise rebellion, you are mistaken, Mr. Danforth.
You've heard rebellion spoken in the town.
Excellency, orphans wander from house to house. Cows bellow on the high road, and no man will longer doubt when the harlot's cry will end his life, and you wonder if rebellion is spoke. I do not marvel how you think they do not burn your province.
Have you been preaching in Andover, Mr. Hale?
Thank God they have no need for me in Andover.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned?
Why, it is simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians should they belie themselves. There is blood upon my head. Do you not see the blood on my head? Shh.
Goodwife Proctor, I hope you are hearty.
I am yet 6 months before my time, sir.
Pray be at your ease. We come not for your life. We come to ask. Mr. Hale, will you please speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning. Do you know that?
I know it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with this court? I come of my own. I come to help your husband, for if he is taken, I count myself his murderer. Do you know that?
What do you want from me?
Goody nurse, I have gone 3 months into the wilderness like our Lord. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister who counsels a man to lie.
It is not a lie. You cannot say that they have lied.
It is a lie.
They are innocent. I will hear none of this.
Let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law, crowns of law I brought, and what I touched with my bright confidence, it died. And where I turned the eye of my great faith, blood flew up. Beware, Goody Proctor, cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice life, woman. Life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. Let you prevail upon your husband to confess, and prepare not before God's judgment, for it may well be that God damns a liar, less than he who throws his life away for pride. Will you please plead with him? I think he will not listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Woman, before the laws of God, we are swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot argue with you, sir. I lack the learning of it.
Goody Proctor, we do not summon you here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you. You will die with the sunrise, your husband. Do you know that? What say you? Will you contend with him? Are you stoned? I tell you true, woman, if I had no other evidence for your natural life, your dry eyes would be a sufficient evidence that you have given yourself to hell. A very ape would weep at such calamity. Has the devil dried up any tear of pity within you? Take her out. It profit nothing she should speak to him.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
You will bid him to confess.
You plead for his confession, or you will not.
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Excellency, leave them a moment, sir.
Mr. Proctor, you have been notified, have you not? I see light in the sky, mister. Let you counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn your back on hell.
Excellency, if a cup of cider is what you ask, Mr. Proctor, I'm sure that I can. God be with you now.
The child?
It grows.
You have not heard from the boys.
They're well. Rebecca Samuels keeps them.
You have not seen them.
I have not.
You are her marvel, Elizabeth.
You have been tortured.
Aye. They come for my life now.
I know it.
Have none yet confessed.
There be many that confess.
Who?
There be 100 or more, they say. Isaiah Goodkind is one. Goody Bishop is one. There be many.
Rebecca?
No, not Rebecca. She has one foot into heaven now. Nothing may hurt her.
And Giles?
You have not heard it.
I hear nothing where I am kept.
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer aye or nay to his indictment, for if he denied it, he'd hang surely, and they'd auction off his property. So he stood firm and died a Christian man underneath the law, for they could not convict him if he would not answer aye or nay to his indictment.
Then how does he die?
They press him, John.
Press.
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he pleads aye or nay. He only give but 2 words, they say. More weight and dies.
More weight.
I was a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking. I would confess to them, Elizabeth. What say you to that?
I cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me do?
As you would, I would have it. I want you alive, that's for sure.
And Giles' wife, has she confessed?
She will not.
It is pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount the gibbet like a saint. I am not that man. It is fraud. I am no good man. My honesty is broke, Elizabeth. There's nothing spoiled by giving them this lie that were not rotted long before.
But you've not confessed till now, John. That speaks goodness in you.
Spite only keeps me silent. It is hard to give such a lie to dogs. I would ask for your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
It is not for me to give.
I would have you see some honesty in it. Let them that never lie die now to protect their souls. For me, it is a pretense, a vanity that will not blind God, nor keep my children out of the wind. What say you?
John, I cannot forgive you if you'll not forgive yourself. It is not my soul, it is yours. I've done some thinking this 3 months, and I have my own sins to court. It takes a cold wife to prompt lechery.
Enough, enough.
Better you should know me.
I will not hear it. I know you.
John, you take my sins upon you.
No, my own. I take my own.
I counted myself so plain, so poorly made. No good love could come from me. Suspicion kissed you when I did, John. It was a cold house I kept.
What say you, Proctor? The sun is soon up.
Do as you will. Let none be your judge, John. There is no judge under heaven that is greater than Proctor is. Forgive me, John. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life. You will confess yourself, then. I will have my life. God be praised. It is providence. God, Proctor will confess. He will confess. Why do you cry it? It is evil, is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John. I cannot.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven, what is John Proctor? What is John Proctor? I think it's honest. I think so. I'm no saint. Let Rebecca go like a saint. For me, it is fraud.
I cannot be your judge. Do as you will. Do as you will.
Would you give them such a lie? Would you give them that? I think not of tongues of fire was singeing you. You would not. It is evil. Good, then. It is evil, and I do it. God be praised, man. God be praised. You shall surely be blessed in heaven for this. Now then, will you let us have it? Mr. Cheever, are you ready? Oh, why must it be written? Why, for the good instruction of the village, mister, this we shall post upon the church door. Where's the marshal? Marshal Harry. Now then, Mr. Proctor, we speak slowly and to the point for Mr. Cheever's sake. Mr. Proctor, have you ever seen the devil in your life? Come, men, I see light at the sky. The people wait at the scaffold and they would have this news given out. Have you ever seen the devil? I did. Praise to God! And when he came to you, what was demand? He bid you do his work upon the earth. He did. And you bound yourself to his service. Come, men, take courage. Let her witness your good example so that she may be brought to God herself. Now hear on, goody nurse. Say on, Mr. Proctor. Did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
John.
I did. You see, woman, it profit nothing to keep this conspiracy any further. Will you confess yourself with him?
Oh, God, prayers mercy on you, John.
I say, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
I will not condemn myself.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil came to you, did you ever see goody nurse in his company? Come, men! Did you ever see the devil in her company? No. Did you ever see her sister Mary Easty with the devil? No, I did not. Did you ever see Martha Corey with the devil? I did not. Did you ever see anyone with the devil? I did not. Mister, you misunderstand me, sir. I am not empowered to trade your life for a lie. You must have certainly seen some person with the devil. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified that they have seen this woman with the devil. Then it is proved. Why must I say it? Why must you say it? Well, you should rejoice to say it if your soul is truly purged of any love for hell. I think they like to go like saints. I like not to spoil their names. Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints? This woman never thought she'd done the devil's work, sir. It matters not what she thought, sir. She is convicted for the unnatural murder of children, and you for sending your spirit out on Mary Warren. Your soul alone is the issue here, and you will prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in a Christian country. Now, sir, what persons conspired with you in the devil's company? I say, did Rebecca Nurse ever combine? I speak of my own sins, I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it. Excellency, it is enough that he confess himself. Let him sign it, let him sign it. It is a great service, sir. It will strike the village hall that Proctor has confessed himself. Let him sign it, sir. The sun is soon up. Come and sign your testimony. Give it to him. Come and sign it. You have all witnessed it. It is enough. You will not sign it. You have all witnessed it. What more is needed? Do you sport with me, mister? You will sign your name or it is no confession.
Praise to God.
Now, mister, if you'll let me know. Mister, I must have known. You have all seen it. It is enough. My name is on it. You have no need for this.
Mr. Proctor, the village must have proof that damn the village.
I have confessed to God. God has seen my name on this. It is enough. Mr. Proctor, I must have. You came to save my soul, did you not? I have signed it. It is enough. Mr. Proctor, you have not confessed yourself. I have confessed myself. Is there no proper penitence but to be public? God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name on this. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough. Mr. Proctor, you will not use me. I am no Saragut or Tituba. I am John Proctor. You will not use me. It is no part of salvation that you use me. Mister, I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk the earth like men? And I sold my friends. Mister, you have not sold your friends. Beguile me not. I blacken all the names. When this is nailed upon the church, the very day they hang for silence. Mr. Proctor, the court must have good and legal proof that you're the high court. Your word is good enough. St. Proctor broke to his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot. It is the same, is it not? What I sign and what you say is the same. No, it is not the same. What I sign and what others say are not the same. Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free? I mean to deny nothing. Then will you explain to me, Mr. Proctor? Why will you not? Because it is my name! Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie and sign myself to lies. Because I'm not worth a dust on the feet of them who hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name. Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. What say you? I will not deal in lies, mister. You will give me your honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. Which way do you go? Marshal! Proctor! Man, you cannot, I can. And there was your first marvel that I can. You have made your magic now, for I think I see a shred of goodness left in John Proctor. Not enough to weave a banner with, but white enough to keep from such dogs. Give them no tear. Tears pleasure them. Show honor now, show a stony heart and sink them with it.
Fear nothing, John. Another judgment awaits us all.
Hang these high over the town who weep for these, weep for corruption.
Goody Proctor, please go to her. There is still time. Go to him, please. Woman, is it pride? Is it vanity? Go to him, be his helper. What profit him to bleed?
Shall the worms declare his truth? Shall the dust praise him? What keeps you? Go to him, take his shame away.
He have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
Hear ye, hear ye, to all who will come before this court, accused of convening with the devil, I say to you, beware. To speak to and hear Lucifer's words shall bring upon you the fate of death by hanging. Investigations of heresy and witchcraft will commence at South Plantation High School in the Paladin Playhouse. There will be a public trial, otherwise known as the Crucible, to be seen on the dates of October the 27th, 28th, and 29th at 7 p.m., November 4th and 5th at 7 p.m., and November 6th at 2 p.m. Spectators shall be charged by this court a fee of $10 in advance and $15 at the door. A copy of this proclamation with additional information can be seen by visiting www.fott.org. In this sacred town of Salem, words fall on deaf ears, and they will turn their ears from the truth.
South Plantation High School presents The Crucible in voice and American Sign Language. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, October 27th, 28th, and 29th at 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, November 4th and 5th at 7 p.m. Sunday, November 6th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $10 in advance, $15 at the door, and may be purchased online by visiting www.fott.org.
Alert theatergoers will notice some familiar faces performing in South Plantation High's upcoming production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop is a great show. First off, it was actually produced here at the Paladin Playhouse around 30 years ago. So when I started working on the show, I actually have a parent who actually participated in their production of Little Shop, and she knew a bunch of folks that were original cast members, and so when I had mentioned the idea of doing walk-on roles and having alumni come back to participate in our production, there was a lot of interest. We have a number of community leaders involved that are going to be doing walk-ons with us. We have Superintendent Runcie, as well as School Board Member Lori Rich Levinson, and James Crash Jensen from the Miami Dolphins, and Plantation Councilman Mark Hyatt.
Zembuch hopes the celebrities will not only draw lots of playgoers to the performance, but draw attention to student theater.
One of the things that I've seen over the course of the last few years, unfortunately, is that we see arts programs disappearing in our public schools left and right. The theater program here at South has been thriving way before I got here, and it's something that is continuing to thrive, and we want to make sure that it continues to do so for not only this generation, but their children as well.